Hey there, in this video, you're gonna learn what a mask is and how we use it to blend multiple images together within a photo manipulation. This video also comes with a project file, so make sure you go download that because there's also an assignment that will come with this and that will allow you to put your new skills to the test and have some practice and a little bit of a play. Now, we're gonna also learn a couple of little extra tips in this one, extra techniques to help blend a composite together a bit more. So this is a really good video to learn. I'm looking forward to it. Let's jump into Photoshop and get started. Okay, now that we're in Photoshop, let's have a look at what we got to start with. So you should have 3 images to start. We've got an image of a whale inside the ocean. We have a model that has already been pre-cut out, so there is no background. And we also have some clouds. So we're gonna create or build a composition using these 3 elements and masks. Let's start by bringing our clouds over into the ocean picture, just like that. All we do is click, drag, and drop. Let's resize this because it's quite big. Control T, make it a little bit smaller. Cool. I think maybe even smaller. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch it across. So let's go hold Shift, click on the side, stretch it along. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Press Enter. Let's come down to the bottom corner. Let's click on our mask. Now it comes up with this extra box. We did play with masks a touch in the pen tool video, but I didn't actually talk about the masks or, what they do. The mask is a way to erase and paint back your image without it being destructive. I'll right click and I'll delete my layer mask. If I grab the eraser and I just erase this image, I can't get that image back. That's a destructive layer. Control Z will get that back. So if I put the mask on and now my mask is there, I can erase. I can then go back to my brush if I want and paint this back on. So it's a non-destructive layer now, and that's the benefit of a mask. But be careful, I've actually done this a lot in the past. I've actually had my layer selected, so the little white box is around my actual image, and I've gone and grabbed the eraser and I'm like, oh yeah, let's blend this, and I go do some other things. And I'm like, oh, actually, no, I want that back, So I come back and I try to paint it back and nothing happens. I erased the image. Just a little tip there, make sure your mask is selected and then that way you can erase and paint back your image. I'll just start from the start. So we'll go to here. We've just clicked on our mask. We now have our mask and we're gonna change the background in this image. What we can do is turn this back on. Make sure your layer mask is selected. We have our eraser with a soft brush. What I'm doing here on changing the size of my brush, I am holding Alt and I'm right clicking on my mouse. Now, if I go left and right, so if I go right, it makes my brush bigger. If I go left, it makes my brush smaller. If I go up, it makes it softer. And if I go down, it makes it harder. So a little quick shortcut there for resizing your brush to how you want it. So let's go to a soft brush. If you don't have a mouse, you can always come up here and click on this little icon. Click on that, and then we have our hardness and our size just here. Nice soft brush, and then we're just gonna erase this bottom bit, okay? And I might even turn this down so that I can see my whale. Also, to zoom in and out very quickly like this, another quick tip is, again, hold Alt and the little wheel in the middle of your mouse, just scroll that forward to zoom in and scroll it back to zoom out. So now I can use a little bit harder brush and I can go around and use my brush to erase this, or like we did in the pen tool video, you can use your pen and go ahead and mask all the way around and cut it out that way. I'll just use my eraser for now. Cool, and now we've got a changed sky. Maybe we'll erase this bottom bit just a little bit more. Eraser, maybe not as soft. We might make it a little bit harder so it's on the horizon. Now, the further away things are, the less contrasty they are. So this is actually quite dark right down the bottom. We can still use that layer mask because we've got just a plain background. We use that layer mask and use about a 50% opacity, really soft brush, and we can just erase that a little bit there, and beautiful. So now we've just changed our sky to a stormy sky using a mask. The next thing is, let's bring our model over. Click, drag, drop. Let's go Control T. Let's resize this a little bit. She's a bit big. Again, we're gonna click on the mask button, creating our layer mask. We're gonna use our eraser tool, and maybe not so soft on this because we're quite close. And we're just gonna erase 100% brush around. I would teach you an extra tip. Well, I've already thrown a couple more in there about the brush sizing, zooming in and out. But I'm gonna throw a tip in. Whenever we have water, we have a reflection. Just grab our move tool. We make sure our model is selected. We press Control J to copy another image in the same spot. Let's go Control T. We'll right click and flip it vertically. We'll drag it down so it's right there. Press Enter. Let's go over to our blend modes here. Now let's drop it. Let's click Overlay. We'll also come up to Filter, Distort, Ripple. We'll come up with this other little box here. We can see that we're gonna start having some ripples in here. We just change this size up to make it more ripply. Press OK, and now we've got this ripple. We're gonna drop the opacity down, maybe 50%, 40%, let's do 40%. And there we go. You've now used a mask to blend in a model. These aren't color corrected, so they obviously don't look that great, but the idea is the mask and using them to erase and blend images together. The assignment is to use this image. I want you to mask the window out, and I want you to blend these two images together inside the window. I've already color corrected all three images, so they should blend together very nicely. And the goal is to make it look like this. So we've gone from this to this. So that's your assignment for this video. I've also gone ahead and done a photo manipulation using this image. Here's my photo manipulation using that image. I've used a lot more techniques and skill within this, which is what you're gonna learn in my intermediate course. You'll learn a lot of techniques to be able to create composites just like this one. So make sure that you finish this beginner's course, get your foundation strong, so that when you go into the intermediate course, you'll pick up all the other skills really easy, really fast, and start compositing and creating some really cool and epic compositions just from your own ideas and your own images. Just a quick recap on what we learned in this video. We learned about what a mask is, how to use it, how it's non-destructive. We also learned how to create a ripple within our image, blend it into water as a reflection, and also those other little, tricks about resizing your brush and zooming in and out. I always wondered how people did that. So when I found out, it changed my world. It blew my mind. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Go ahead, do the assignment, take your time, try to make it blend really nicely. And once you're done, share it on Instagram, tag me, ruthless_graphics_productions. I'd love to see it. I'd love to critique it if you want my advice. And until then, I will see you in the next video.